Time now for our roundtable discussion. Tonight, we're taking a deeper look into how the novel coronavirus pandemic has had major effects on people dealing with addictions. We want to welcome Alan Tobiasen from Celebrate Recovery, a faith-based program in Sarasota. Thanks for joining us tonight, Alan.
Thanks, Jacqueline.
Well, first off, tell me a little bit about how your organization is really doing in these times. How are you all providing to those who are on the road to recovery using your program before?
Yeah, really, I'm blessed to work in three different areas of people who are in their early stages of recovery. As a ministry leader for Celebrate Recovery, I'm also an instructor at the Salvation Army Center of Hope, and then I am the director of Purpose House Transitional Homes, which are residential recovery homes for over 100 residents that we serve. At Celebrate Recovery, we meet Sunday nights at 7 o'clock in a local church here at South Shore Church. And up until 6 weeks ago, I think it was March 20th, that's when we decided that as this pandemic, as the coronavirus was really starting to make significant impact globally, nationally, and here locally, we decided that, as did many of the churches, to stop having our services live at that point. And so we've resorted to Zoom meetings. Our attendance on a Sunday night could range between 150 and 200 people. So we've had to adapt by using technology and forming some new ways of communicating and staying in touch. The key to Celebrate Recovery is the community that we have. And we're basically working faith-based principles, much like the AA or NA principles to hurts, habits, and hangups or addictions, and how we deal with them and deal with them together as a group.
Right. I did reach out to AA and NA a few weeks ago and had talked with them about their program and how they were transitioning to use programs like Zoom. And they said, you know, it was a little difficult to remain anonymous, but it was possible. But your organization is a little bit different than that, correct?
It is. It really is, in that there we are freer, I think, to invite people. It's an open forum, unlike AA, where the majority of the meetings that meet are closed meetings, specifically for those in addiction, where Celebrate Recovery is open to families, friends, people dealing with grief, people who are dealing with other forms of addictions, hurts, habits, hang-ups. We kind of cover the gamut. Actually, pretty much everybody qualifies to come to our groups.
So have you seen an increase in people calling for help during this time or reaching out to take part in those virtual classes? And do you fear that there could be a repercussion with more larger groups of people who are struggling with addiction after the coronavirus pandemic is over?
Well, I think really the experience that I'm seeing and that we're seeing with social distancing, isolation, just the things we've had to do to cooperate with the good advice, the good suggestions as far as how to deal with this pandemic, have in a lot of ways, I think, turned people inward. We have found that it's kind of isolation is the enemy of recovery. And for us, it's really important to use social media, different platforms through which we can continue to communicate. We are primarily dealing with people in early recovery. Those who have long-term recovery, like myself, I think have a toolbox that we use when we go through difficult times, where people who are newer in recovery, this is like the perfect storm of bad circumstances, loss of jobs, social distancing, staying at home. These are the enemies of recovery. I fear for, you know, how this could play out. I think it's just the beginning of I think it's going to get worse. We're going to see higher relapse rates. So we're pressing extra hard to reach people and stay in touch and tell them we're still here.
I hate to hear that, but glad you guys are able to reach out to more people through that social media platform. But that being said, what coping mechanisms do you suggest for those at home, and where can people get help if they need it right now?
Well, we are on Facebook, Celebrate Recovery Sarasota. We are recording our services, so they're available online. I think another key role that I learned early on in my recovery is that as I recovered in my sobriety, that having significance, having purpose in my life was the key to finding fulfillment in life and having a new life. And so there's things on our on our Facebook page that can be aids or assistance. One is the purpose-driven life. We've got a daily reading that's going on right now where someone can connect and actually, if they'd like a book, a purpose-driven life book, can request one. But there's other resources online, and there are people that we can have direct phone contact if necessary or needed.
All right, Alan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. We definitely appreciate your insight.
Thanks, Jack.
Well, we do have to take a quick break. We'll have an update on your first alert forecast for the weekend ahead when we return.
Introducing CopCam, the brand new HD mini security camera that catches thieves. It's motion activated, so it only records when it needs to. And it loop records, so you can leave it out 24/7. CopCam has infrared LED, so it can record at night. It comes with a clip to use as a body cam for security or for action sports. And it makes a perfect dash cam. CopCam also comes with an 8GB memory card. Get yours today.
It takes hours to make your garden grow, but some pesky critter has pilfered all your produce. There has to be a better way. Introducing Owl Alert, a fantastic way to target unwanted creatures today. The Owl Alert works with sight, sound, and light to zero in on nuisance critters the modern pesticide-free way. The realistic design mimics the look of a real owl. Plus, it has an ultrasonic blast that affects critters at the speed of sound. It also features menacing red glowing eyes to target pests after dark. Once animals get within range, the motion sensor activates during both the daytime and night. No more smelly and messy pesticides or poisons. Get Owl Alert today for just $19.99. But wait, call now and you can double the offer. Plus get a 25-foot pocket hose bullet. Just pay separate fee. That's 2 Owl Alerts and the pocket hose bullet. Call or click now.
Call 1-800-305-0578. That's 1-800-305-0578. Or visit byowlalert.com. So call 1-800-305-0578 now.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, helped me pay for my house. Being part-time really helped because I could have some opportunities that were still in education.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Boy, what a pleasant day today it has been. Just crystal clear blue skies and mild temperatures and low humidity. It's a nice break. We're headed for that summer here, not too far off, right? So enjoy it while it lasts. Tomorrow should be a real nice start to the day. Out on the beach today, the review since about 3 o'clock this afternoon showing comfortable conditions out there. And just a quick reminder, if you're going out to the beaches or you're going to be out in a place, for example, Robinson Preserve, remember to keep that distance 6 feet away from everybody, unless you're immediate family there. And then also, if you're boating, 50 feet away as far as anchoring goes. There'll be a lot of boaters out there, and it looks to be a pretty good weekend, really good weekend for boating. Temperatures right now, mid-70s, Sarasota, Orlando 79, Miami at 80 degrees. Temperatures up and down the coast, low to mid-70s from Tampa all the way down to Inglewood. Punta Gorda 82, still nice. 80 in Arcadia, 77 Mayaca City. Northport a couple degrees warmer. Lakewood Ranch a pleasant 73. If you haven't seen these temperatures, I want to show them again. Into the mid to upper 50s to low 60s. Now, if you're right on the water, obviously it's going to be a little warmer with that water temperature in the upper 70s, but it should be a real decent start to the day. High pressure to the west of us always gives us that northwest wind. It keeps us mild here, low humidity. As far as the forecast goes, high is going to go right over us on Saturday. By Sunday, it moves a little bit further off the coast there, and that provides us with an east-southeasterly wind, which will warm us up. But notice no rain in the forecast through the weekend. Dew point temperatures are winter-like now into the low 50s up and down the coast, and you can see high temperatures tomorrow will be a little bit below average into the low 80s for the most part. We're looking at low 80s for highs. And as far as the wind forecast goes, generally out of the northeast tomorrow, switching a little around to the east by Sunday. That will have a tendency to warm us up a little bit more so. We get rid of that northerly component. That means warmer temperatures here with a little sea breeze developing in the afternoon. Well, the European forecast model suggesting that high pressure is suggesting it right over the Bahamas, and it gets beat up a little bit by Wednesday, but here comes the front. You can see, we'll keep an eye on this for you. Right now, the rain chances aren't all that high on Thursday at 20%. There'll be some storms around, and that'll move on through late Wednesday, early Thursday, it looks like now. That could change, but behind it, maybe some slightly cooler and drier air comes around next late Thursday and into Friday. But for the time being, it stays pretty nice out there right now. Hummingbirds from Holmes Beach. Amy Helmer sending that picture in. The northwest winds at 14. The relative humidity at 43% right now. Here's a shot, too, recently, just today. Steve Calloway saying the picture does not do it justice. He said it was absolutely spectacular out there today, right there at the Venice Jetty. Today's high 83 degrees shy of the normal, and the low this morning was 3 degrees shy of the normal at 61, and we're not doing too bad for the year, just 21/100ths of an inch below average. The northeast United States getting some cold, cloudy days as of late, but things are starting to improve there. Let's go back to the 7-day here and show you what's happening. 82 for a high tomorrow. That's really nice. Mid-80s on Sunday, a little bit hotter, but more so Monday. You'll feel it as that humidity comes back into play. I'm going to put a 20% chance for a shower on Thursday and Friday as that front gets down, stalls, and gives us a slight chance at this point. Jacqueline will be right back. Stick around.
Attention! The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services has officially authorized new benefits that Medicare Advantage plans may include. To get the benefits you deserve, you can call the Medicare Coverage Helpline.
Hi, I'm Joe Namath. If you're on Medicare, this is important information. I called the Medicare Coverage Helpline and they instantly looked up my coverage. In this one simple call, they offered to enroll me in a plan that includes rides to medical appointments, private home aides, doctors and nurses' visits by telephone, and even home-delivered meals. The plan also includes dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage, all at no additional cost.
Don't delay. Call to see if the new benefits are available in your area.
Call the number on your screen now. It's free.
Call 1-800-893-1207. That's 1-800-893-1207 now.
If you want to do a little fishing, you don't buy a yacht. And if you want to take a bath, you just fill up the tub, not a swimming pool. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why pay for more than you need? For as low as $20 a month, you can get talk, text, and data from Consumer Cellular with no contract and connections on the nation's largest wireless networks. It's easy to switch. Activation is free. And if you like, you can even keep your phone and number. You'll also receive award-winning customer support. Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 8 times in a row. And you get a simple, easy-to-understand bill with no surprises. Plus, they've been an approved AARP provider for over 10 years, so members get exclusive discounts. Start saving with Consumer Cellular. You can get talk, text, and data for as low as $20 a month. Switch today. With our 30-day guarantee, it's 100% risk-free. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or find us at Target.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point your way.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
ABC7, serving Manatee County and the entire Suncoast. You're watching ABC7 News at 7:30.
Welcome back to ABC7 News at 7:30 in the second half of our roundtable discussion on how the COVID-19 pandemic has had major effects on mental health. We want to welcome Executive Director of the National Alliance on Mental Illness for Sarasota and Manatee Counties, Colleen Fair. Thanks for joining us tonight, Colleen.
Thanks for having me.
So, Colleen, a recent poll, a national poll, in fact, says 45% of adults in the U.S. say their mental health has been negatively impacted because of worry and stress during this pandemic. Does that number alarm you? And what have you seen here locally?
It doesn't really alarm me. I think it's something that, we're all dealing with. Mm-hmm. So whether you live with a mental illness in your day-to-day life, or you are experiencing mental health issues because of this pandemic, I think it's something that is pretty common. 1 in 5 adults live with a mental illness, a diagnosed mental illness in our country every day.
And do you think the stigma may be shortened and lesser because of the fact that so many people are dealing with this right now and socially distancing and isolating?
I think stigma related to mental illness has been around forever, and it's something that we at NAMI really work hard to try to break. Talking about mental health, talking about how to feel better is so important. And I think that stigma is something that I don't know that it's exacerbated because of this pandemic, but it's certainly still there.
So what about the concern for mental health of first responders and healthcare workers dealing with the pandemic really on the front lines? Can you weigh in on that for us?
Sure. I mean, just like anybody, the added stress of high profile jobs, high stress jobs can impact somebody's mental health. And I think that for anybody, encouraging people to take care of themselves during times like this, to follow familiar routines and connect with friends, talk to others on a routine basis, whether that be through social networks or, on the phone or through social distancing. I think all of those things for everybody, including our first responders, is really important.
Sure. And what about teens and kids? Many of them haven't seen their friends, their teachers, been in school for nearly 2 months now. Their life's basically been turned upside down. This is not something that they were expecting or really know how to cope with. So what should parents look out for in their children in regards to their mental health and maybe some coping mechanisms for teens and kids?
Sure, I think it's the same overall, no matter how old you are relative to mental health, and doing simple things like keeping connection with friends and family, following routines, taking care of your health, your physical health. Exercising, maybe trying something new, that you haven't done. I have a son who is a senior in high school, and this is a really rough time for him and for all of his friends. And so, he's been focusing a lot on his physical health and exercising a lot. And, we encourage that, because in addition to, trying to do all of this online school stuff, which has been a challenge for a lot of folks, it's maintaining that contact with friends. And I think it would be important to say that, people need to reach out if they're feeling anxious, if they're feeling overstressed, out of the norm. I think it's really important to talk about it, to reach out to a friend or a family member, that they trust, and that's a really important thing for teens that we talk about a lot at NAMI. Just talking, and that not being afraid to say, you know what, I'm not okay right now, and I need some help.
Sure. So there's the possibility that there may be another coronavirus stimulus package. Do you think there should be some sort of emergency funding set aside for mental health with that? And what do you think we may see regarding mental health after this coronavirus pandemic is over?
Sure. I think we're actually going to see an increase in the need for mental health support services and treatment. I think that, it's something that NAMI is following closely at the federal level for sure. And they're really good about passing that information down to affiliates like ours here in Sarasota and Manatee counties, so that we can share with our members and with the public as much information as we can. And we do that through our website and other social channels. I think that the need is going to continue. And whether that's an increase that we see in PTSD or anxiety, I think for some people that's it will abate as symptoms of this abate and things kind of get back to a new kind of normal. And then I think for some people, it can be a continued challenge. And that's what organizations like NAMI is here for. We're here to provide the support that people need and try to connect them with resources if that's what they need.
And that brings me to my next question. Where can people find those resources if they need help?
Sure. So our website, NAMISarasotaCounty.org, has a resource page. And, we continually try to keep that updated. And we've added in a lot of information about the virus and mental health, and tools and tips and techniques that people can use to take care of themselves. NAMI.org is also a really great resource for information on the pandemic and mental health. And I would think that, Mental Health America is another one. There are a lot of resources out there. We're happy to help steer people in the right direction.
All right, Colleen, thanks for joining us and taking the time to speak with us this evening.
Absolutely. Thanks.
And let this serve as a reminder that it is okay to not be okay. Feel free to reach out to your friends and your loved ones and let them know that you're there for them, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. We do have to take a quick break. We'll have an update on our weekend First Alert forecast when we return.